Cards a pleasing Friday night run out against Chorley. Was that the best that you've seen in pre-season so far?
Yeah, I think so. There was a lot of good stuff in the performance. I know Chorley weren't at complete full strength, but they started with a number of players who are in their what you'd call starting 11. But I thought we moved it well. I thought we had control at times. I thought we went in behind when we needed to, and I thought there was a lot of good stuff to be pleased about. We followed up the midweek game against City of Liverpool, where you're going to have control, and you should have control, and I felt we did, and we scored some good goals in a tasty game. But tonight was about playing against an opponent who was going to be tougher, and trying to gain that control as well against better opposition. And I felt we did that for long periods. I thought we were good at times with the ball, good decision making. I thought there was some good play to open them up, and some good individual performances as well.
I know people will look at the team sheet and see Charlists on there, but it's important to note that the majority of the Charlists have been training with you for virtually the whole of pre-season, and it looks like the gelling of that collection of players is moving forward now.
Yeah, that was what I said on Tuesday. We've been together, the group's been together for a fair bit. There's still openings in the squad which we need to fill, but there's opportunities to do so. But then there's also lads who've been here who have already agreed to sign. We've already agreed things. We just haven't got it out there yet, and they haven't put pen to paper yet. But that'll be happening. But I said before the game about understanding each other's strengths and weaknesses, what I always say, what I preach and moan on about, if you want to call it moaning. But it's also that talking, and we're not a full-time club, so whereas full-time players who go from club to a new club get to day-to-day sort of getting understanding of one another, we obviously don't have that. So it's important that we generate that as much as we can in training and in games, and I feel we have done certainly over the last couple of weeks. Last Saturday against Southport, for the first half, I was really pleased. Southport are trying to play a different way, and I felt we caused them a lot of problems. Probably if we'd have been 2-0 up at half time, it wouldn't have been unjust. Then they changed the full 11, and we were sloppy with the first two goals, and I thought the third was preventable. But the first half was good. There was good signs there, but like I say, the second half wasn't where we needed to be. But I'm pleased that the two performances, the one in midweek, which like we say, we should be winning, we should be comfortable in it, but sometimes if you don't do it right, you make a meal of those games. And then tonight was again another good performance, and going in a good direction without getting carried away. We didn't get carried away against the defeat against Southport, because nothing had changed. We knew what we needed, where we needed to be, and what players needed to do, and likewise we're just building up until when it matters.
You've got 2 weeks now. What needs to happen for you over these next 2 weeks to prepare for the opening game against Cleethorpes?
Well, we just need to determine the squad. We're still needing a few positions filled, which I'm hoping to have done over the next week, and really sort of just honing down on what we're going to do, what we're going to look like in terms of the signing and the strongest 11. But we spoke before about some of the lads who've come in to train with us across pre-season have done really well and give you food for thought, and that's what I look for. And I don't want lads to come in thinking, oh yeah, I'll get on the bench. They've got certain players in certain positions, but I'm happy to be on the bench. Lads are giving themselves every chance of keeping a shirt, when they're getting opportunities, and that's the headache you want.
You've seen the fixtures obviously now since they're being released. Do you set targets for what you want from that opening chunk of the season?
No, you know, everyone says to me, oh, have you looked at this when you're playing them, what date have you got them, what date have you got them? And I'm one of them. I look at the first game and I think, well, we've got to play everyone. We've got to play everyone twice. Where and whenever we've got to play them, you know, it's not irrelevant, but, you know, at this stage, the fixtures have been drawn. We have to deal with it whenever we've got to go to Whitby away, whenever we've got to go to Cleethorpes away, whenever we've got to go to Hensford away, whenever we play anyone at home, we've got to play them. And it's the teams who, you know, I know there's certain managers who look at fixtures and look at fixture list and group fixtures in terms of points totals after that many games or that month or, you know, that cluster of fixtures. You know, I'll be boring and say, you know, you can only win the next game, and that's what we'll be looking to do.